Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all enjoying y'all Tuesday. Staying healthy, staying positive, staying out the way, staying low key, and hopefully, y'all got about an hour to chop it up in regards to this important subject matter, man. So, what's the word? Let me know how y'all living. Let me know how y'all feeling before we start building and going in on this subject matter. Because again, this is one of those topics where I'm probably gonna spaz out a little bit. But y'all already know that though. Trio Raw, peace, what's happening? Khalil, peace, what's the word? How y'all living? How y'all feeling? Prodigal Son, peace, what's the word? Arrow, peace, what's happening with you? What's the word? Y'all see the title of this stream, man. Y'all know we gonna go in. Akuma, peace. Jessica, peace. Shantae, peace. Peace to the queens. How y'all living? How y'all feeling? How everybody holding up on this Tuesday? Ronald, peace. What's the word? Tony, peace. What's happening? Akuma, nah, I didn't hear about a substitute teacher getting fired. I might have seen it, but I didn't dive into it. But I haven't heard about that. Clocks in, peace. What's happening? Akuma, that's interesting. Eric, nah, for sure. That's why I say this the norm. And like I said, I called it back in the day. I never forget back in the day. I wish I had some documentation, but all of my Facebook pages had been deleted and all that type of stuff, man. But I'm telling you, like over 10 years ago, I called it. I said everything that's happening now is going to be the new norm. We reaching that point. And I said, once this becomes the norm, then because I was reading articles and I was studying this stuff back then. So it's going to go all of this stuff that y'all see that's becoming normal now. 10 years ago, I was saying, all right, that's going to be the norm. And then you got bestiality and pedophilia. Those are going to be the next joints that they work on in regards to making them normal. Telling y'all heard it here first. They already doing like bestiality. They already in the process of making that work. Pedophilia is something that they also are going to try to normalize. I'm telling y'all that's what's happening. I'm telling y'all. But right now, this whole gender fluid situation, this is what I was talking about like 10 years ago. I was like, that's going to be the new norm. It's going to be a taboo to be a straight man or straight woman. It's going to be a taboo. It's going to be a taboo. 10 years ago, probably over 10 years ago, I was like, dude, that's going to be a taboo. You're going to be the odd one out when you a straight man, straight woman. You're going to be the odd one out. It's going to be awkward. You're going to be the oddball. You're going to be the black sheep. I said, once they get it to where all of that is normalized, and y'all know what all of that means. Once they get it to where all of that is normalized, then now we got bestiality, pedophilia. Now we got to get the whole world to accept all of that. But bestiality, they already in the process of normalizing that. So that's already pretty much happening. So we living in those times, man, and people been talking about this for a minute. Like I said, I done been talking about this for a minute. Just wasn't on YouTube talking about it. I was more so on Facebook and in the physical talking to people. Jasmine, Peach Queen, what's happening? Jay Will, that's what Akuma was just talking about. The student identifies a cat, the teacher got fired because they did not meow back. That's what I'm talking about. That's where the world is headed. That's where the world is headed. That's why I made the joke in regards to the jab. I say I identify as somebody that's vaccinated. Well, why can't I do that? You know what I'm saying? Why I got to go get the jab? Why can't I identify somebody that got it already? Funny how I don't apply to those type of situations, but it is what it is. Clocks in, most definitely. Tamika, Peach Queen, what's happening? Just Peach Queen, what's the word? Era 9, exactly. Tamika, it is way out of hand. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what inspired this particular stream. Y'all know, I don't even know if it's confirmed in regards to Jeezy and what's her name, like Jeannie Mae, and the child that they were about to have and raising that child to be gender fluid. I don't know if that's been confirmed. I don't know if they really own that, but I read some articles from some sources that I trust. that confirmed it or talked about it and elaborated on it. So I don't want to assume, but based off of those articles, they saying that they're going to raise their child to be gender fluid. This is one of the steps, one of the tactics that they utilize to try to get the public, or try to normalize things. They try to use celebrities. That's one of the main tactics that they use. We're going to find a celebrity couple, and we're going to have this celebrity couple. They're going to have a child, and we're going to influence this or encourage this celebrity couple to raise this child under the gender fluidity banner. That's how they do it. So we get some celebrities to do it. We get some celebrities to endorse it. And there you go. As I have mentioned, the quote, you can't fool all of the people all of the time, but if you fool the right ones, then the rest will fall behind. This is what they do. When they want to normalize something, let's go find some high profile celebrities so they can push it. And that's what you're seeing. Dominique Peace, what's happening? That's what we're seeing. Now, before we really start elaborating, let's, by definition, define gender fluidity. Let's define it. Gender fluidity refers to change over time in a person's gender expression or gender identity, or both. That change might be an expression but not identity, or an identity but not expression, or both expression and identity might change together. That's gender fluidity. So now, instead of now it's about to be offensive when you have a gender reveal. That's offensive. That's about to be offensive. People gonna create a phobia based off of that. They gonna try to make that toxic. Why are you having a gender reveal? How do you know that this boy is gonna want to be a boy? How do you know this girl is gonna want to be a girl? Like that's gonna be the argument. That's going to be the argument. So gender reveals, you're gonna be labeled as toxic when you throw a gender reveal. That's what's about to happen. This is what's about to happen. I'm telling y'all, this is what's gonna happen. When you see somebody throw a gender reveal, maybe 10 years from now, they're gonna like, oh nah, that's toxic. How you gonna force this boy to be a boy? How you gonna force this girl to be a girl? That's wrong. That's where we headed. Listen to how that sounds, man. Listen to how that sounds. We know that this is a boy. You know what I'm saying? That should grow up to be a young man, but we're not gonna label him as such. We're not gonna label him. We're gonna let him tell us what he is. Listen to how does that sound? How does that sound, man? But you won't give him a name though. You might as well not name him. How about you let that child grow up and say, hey, you know what? We ain't gonna give him a name. We're gonna let him name himself. Y'all give him a name. Y'all gonna get a child a name, and then you say, all right, you're gonna figure your gender out. Don't name them then. I forget the name. Let them, as soon as they're able to talk and create a name for themselves, let them do that too. Might as well. Clocks in for sure. They always gonna take it to the media. They always gonna take it to the entertainment, whether it's a movie, whether it's music. They're gonna always do that, whether it's sports, something. They're gonna always try to normalize it there first. Always. Jessica, they definitely getting very weird. Very weird. So that's the world we live in. Now, you cannot label that child at birth, even though you know what the child will be. That is wrong. You should not do that. Allow that child to grow up and tell you what they identify as. That's the world we live. That's the world we living in. That's going to be the new norm. And if you speak out against it, you are a problem. You are the problem. We already to that point to where when you speak out against it, you're a problem. Because one of the articles that I read in regards to the Jeezy and Jeannie Mae situation, they was already talking about it in the article. They was like, yeah, if this is true, then it shows how much Jeezy has grown. So anytime somebody says something like that shows how much you have grown, they are basically saying that the decision that you're making is a very positive situation. It's a way better situation. It's a way better decision than you would have made in the past. So they didn't already said that this is showing and proving that Jeezy has grown as an individual. You got to watch the language. You got to watch the language. That's how they make these things acceptable. It shows maturity. When you say, I'm not going to label a child at birth, shows maturity. It shows you have grown. Come on, man, that is ridiculous. So now it's childish for me to say, well, I'm having a boy, I'm having a girl, and that's exactly what I'm having. So now it's childish. So now we going backwards if we say that. Come on, man, y'all got to stop playing. Montel, Dean, peace, what's happening? Dean, these times are very different. Very different. And like I said, we done been calling it. We done been calling it. Clocks in for sure, man. I didn't get my phone until I was in high school. And don't even get me started on the quality of the phones back then. Like, we got phones in high school, but the phones was garbage. You couldn't do anything on those phones. We didn't have smartphones. I had a flip phone, and all you could do was call and text and record music off of the radio. And people had to call you after 9 o'clock. But I was hooked up with US Cellular, so we had free incoming calls. But for the most part, you had to call people after a certain time. And the world is definitely different. Kids that got phones and tablets and laptops at 8. They got all of it. They got all those things. And they all do the same thing. They got a phone, a tablet, laptop at 8. That's the world we live in, man. I ain't get a laptop until I was about to go to college. I was about to graduate high school. Kids be having laptops and all that type of stuff. Like I said, at 8. At 8, they got the phone, they got the laptop, they got the tablet, and we don't know what else to get them. That's the world we live in. Prodigal son for sure. And just exactly definitely a nice way of saying it. You said a nice way of saying you're ignorant is what that seems like. You have grown, you have matured. Oh, Jessica, for sure. Now, yeah, it's definitely surprising coming from a black person, but that's how they got to do it. You know what I'm saying? They got to normalize it in all communities. So they got to hit it. They got to hit the black community. What better way to hit the black community than to get somebody like Jeezy the Snowman from back in the day? You know what I'm saying? Get somebody like that to say, all right, man, we're going to raise this child under the gender fluidity banner. Jeezy the Snowman. Like, out of all the rap, we're going to get Jeezy to endorse it. Come on now. Come on now. When you get somebody like Jeezy, what type of crowd are you getting? You know what I'm saying? Just look at the people who didn't follow Jeezy over his career. So they know what they doing. They know what they doing. Sharif and Peach, what's happening? They know exactly who they targeting. Kuma, yeah, the Wade situation, that's still ridiculous. And when you add your input, everybody say, oh, you're hating, mind your business. Well, they make it public. You know what I'm saying? So when you make these things public, again, we able to criticize it and break it down. If I didn't want to criticize in certain aspects of my life, then I wouldn't necessarily make it public. You know? So the moment that it comes out and it's public, hey, we have the right to our opinion, and we have the right to discuss it if we would like to. And that's what we gonna do. Because these things affect the majority, they affect the masses. When Dwayne Wade, when Jeezy, when they come out with things like this is why these people got to understand their power and their influence. You can't be Dwayne Wade and Jeezy telling people to mind their business when things like this go public. No, you are Dwayne Wade, you are Jeezy. Y'all have millions of fans and followers. So no, you can't tell these people to mind their business. These people are all up in your business because they're fans. That's what they do. They study your whole career. They study you. You know, so you can't tell them to mind their business when it comes to things like this. No, how about like they've been studying your career for the longest? You wasn't telling them to mind their business then. So nah, they getting all up in your business because that's what they do. That's what they do. Clocks in exactly. We normalize it, which we will do. Trust me, they already pretty much got the people that they want to push it. They got them in line. So they already know it's going to be normalized in the black community. Best believe. Best believe. as far as on the mainstream level. Best believe it. Yeah, Kuma, that situation is sick. Like you can tell that Gabrielle Union has a lot of influence or had a lot of influence in that situation. Tay Jules, you say reminds me of some years ago when Target was supposed to make the kids' clothes out genderless. You know what's funny? I was working at Target at the time. That's crazy. I was working at Target at the time where they started talking about that. I was actually working at Target. That's crazy that you mentioned that. So I remember when that became a thing, man. When they brought it up, when they first brought it up, I was actually working at Target at the time, and I was like, hold up. Sharif man for sure. And yeah, Jasmine, you might need to get some clarification from Akuma on that one because I'm definitely not. Yeah, her not being able to have kids really ain't got nothing to do with anything, honestly. Michael Peace, what's happening? But nah, Sharif man, the gender fluidity, like I said, we gonna be, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be the black sheep of the situation. The black sheep of the situation. Like, oh yeah, all right, you know what I'm saying? Gender reveal, we having a boy. Like, nah, you shouldn't do that. I'm telling you, we gonna be getting criticized. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be getting criticized when you come out and say, all right, we having a boy. How do you know? All that type of stuff. That's what we gonna be dealing with. Galactic MC, you say they out here cloning people and leeching blood from the hospitals. It's back. It's definitely backwards. Definitely backwards. Mr. Barbados, peace. What's happening? Yeah, but it's definitely backwards out here, man. But that's the way of the world. Again, I always bring up Pastor Troy, vice versa. I'm telling y'all, that's the way of the world. What's right is wrong, what's wrong is right. That's the way we live it. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. See, people look at it like we advancing as a society. No, that's not how I look at it. These are not advancements. These are not advancements in my eyes. They've been striving to get rid of roles for the longest, and now it's officially in motion. Officially in motion. Yeah, Tay, man, I remember. And what's crazy, and the reason why I remember that so vividly for working at Target is because it was some customers that was in there that was talking about it at the time, and they were not fans of it, which was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Dad, let me chime in this conversation because they weren't fans of it. So I chimed in on that joint. They was like, yeah, I don't like that idea. I was like, right. Clocks in for sure. And even with Black History Month, I feel like as Black people, that's on us. You know what I'm saying? Black history is every day, all day. So we just got to push that on a day-to-day basis. Forget the little month that they gave us. They can have that. They can give that to the pride folks. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me no month. Don't give me the shortest month. We gonna celebrate this Black History thing every day, all day. So I don't really care what they do with their calendar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't care what they really do with their calendar, man. That's their calendar. They can do what they want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? We need to start taking control of our days, our history, our heritage. All right. They say, all right, we're gonna forget Black History Month. We're gonna throw that and make it, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna give them the pride, we're gonna give them to the pride folks. Man, forget it. Let them do it. That ain't gonna stop us from celebrating our blackness every day. That ain't gonna stop that. Definitely ain't gonna stop it on my end. I'm gonna do that all day, every day, to the point where it's gonna get on people's nerves, you know. But I'm not really concerned about that. Lewis, peace. What's happening? Yeah, I'm not concerned about that. You know, so we got to protect the culture. And part of that culture is to raise men and women, not this whole gender fluid situation. You raise young boys to grow up to be strong men, and you raise young girls to be strong women. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how we keep the culture rolling. That's how we keep hope alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we do it. That's Black power, Black empowerment. that is how we push that. That is how we continue that. Sharif, man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do. That's what we do as original people. Galactic, for sure. We're gonna always have growing pains. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of life. That's what makes life so beautiful. We're gonna always have things that we have to overcome. We're gonna always have things that we have to overcome. But that's the beauty in success. That's the beauty of being triumphant. When you overcome those obstacles, when you conquer those growing pains, that's the beauty. Like that's the beauty in the situation. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna always have growing pains, we're gonna always have obstacles, we're gonna always have trials and tribulations. That's that duality. We're gonna always have it. But again, that's the beauty in being triumphant. That's the beauty in being a conqueror. When you conquer it, you be like, man, the struggle was real, but we prevailed. We came through. We came through. Akuma for sure. Definitely, it's on. I ain't necessarily even blaming Wade. I mean, Wade appears to be happy, whatever the case may be, but it is what it is. You know, the influence behind that particular situation. But Wade always been on that type of vibe anyway, before like Gabrielle Union. It's almost like if Russell Westbrook did something weird like that, Russell Westbrook already kind of give you those type of vibes from the way that he be dressing. So it's like, I can partially say, all right, Gabrielle Union influenced that, but then Wade also was always on that type of vibe too, just from analyzing him on the surface. Yeah, Jack, I'm the wrong person to talk to if you don't if you part of the pronoun gang, you might not want to have a conversation with me because I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna say he, her, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just you aren't gonna take your L talking to me, you're gonna have to be offended. Shante, man, yeah, Shante is different. Like it's big time different, and you can't say anything, man, without the world bashing you in regards to how different it is. Can't say much. Dean, for sure. Yeah, for sure, man. You gotta deprogram in order to like reprogram yourself. People don't understand that process. People don't understand that process of healing. A lot of times we try to reprogram, but first you gotta deprogram. It's almost like eating healthy. You gotta detox before you actually make the transition. And people don't be understanding that. That's why sometimes, man, when you just wake up one day and you try to incorporate a healthier lifestyle, it don't necessarily do what you thought it was supposed to do because you didn't detox. Got to detox first, man, and then adopt that healthier lifestyle. That's the way it's supposed to go. So you got to deprogram first, then reprogram that mind or program that mind. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Galactic MC. Yeah, discipline is crucial. Discipline is crucial. Yeah, Jasmine, man. I was training the lady. And again, her daughter was part of the pronoun gang, and it was crazy because when I was talking to the moms had said something like, and she, and then the moment that she said that, the daughter, you know what I'm saying, I don't care what she want to be called, the daughter like cut her off and was like, no, you can't call me she, something like that. Man, I was like, what? Like, first of all, you don't talk to your moms like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out. Don't interrupt your mom. Like what they say, man, when grown folks talking, you be quiet. Like, she just interrupted that when her mom said she. I'm like, nah, man, listen. There is no way I was gonna interrupt my mom's or pops in a situation like that when they was having a conversation with another adult. Like, nah, they was gonna tell me to be quiet, shut up while grown folks is talking. Now you call one of them, you say she, then they cut you off, and it's all good. Oh, Big Smooth, man, they always mad, you know. Devontae, man, I'm telling you, this stuff is weird. This is weird. Just listen to what you're saying. Like, this is why I have a problem with the gender fluidity thing. This is why I say that it's weird. Because if you like, if I'm born as a boy, and just naturally, the way my life is gonna unfold, like, just naturally, if we just let nature take its course, like, I'm going to naturally gravitate towards, because I have the body of a man, like I have the body of a boy, I have the body, like, y'all know what I'm getting at with that, man. Just naturally, the way things are going to unfold, like, there is no need for me to be doing that type of stuff. You might as well call it what it is. It's naturally gonna unfold that way. So it's like, it don't make any sense talking about I'm gonna let the child pick their gender. Listen, when you came together and you procreated and you brought a life into existence, and that life has a certain makeup, whether it be a boy or a girl, that's the gender being chosen right there. That's the gender being revealed and chosen right there. When y'all come together, procreate. Because first off, children, they don't ask to come here. Like, we create that. We bring them into existence. Now we about to tell them they choose the gender. But we came together and created them. We brought them into existence. Without us, they wouldn't exist. So we gonna bring some people into existence that didn't ask to be here, and then we gonna say, figure out your gender. How does that make any sense? We gonna teach them everything else in life, but we gonna say, figure out your gender. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You're going to teach them not to use drugs. You're going to tell them that this word is bad. You're going to say you can't watch this at the age of 5, but then you're going to be like, all right, choose your gender. That's up to you. But you about to have all these rules and regulations in your crib for that same child, but when it comes to gender, you're going to say that's on you. I ain't going to let them play football. I ain't going to let them play this sport. They can't do this, that, and the third, but then they can choose their gender, though. Come on. How is this making any sense? Somebody let me know how that makes any type of sense. They gonna have all the rules. I guarantee you, anybody that's raising their child to be gender fluid, I guarantee you they have rules and regulations in the crib. They have things that child will not be able to do until they leave their house, and they have things they will be able to do. But when it comes to gender, they're gonna be like, all right, that's on you, even though you ain't asked to be here. We gonna let you determine that. We gonna let you figure that out. It makes no sense. That literally makes zero sense. Like, that literally makes zero sense. Like, it just makes no sense at all whatsoever. So basically, when it comes to being gender fluid, you basically are telling the child that you're gonna let society dictate how you express yourself. That's what you're saying. You saying, all right, the parents, we ain't gonna have no influence on how you express yourself or what you identify as. We gonna let society influence that. That's basically what you're saying. You not because at the end of the day, when we make our decisions, we make our decisions based off of influences. Like, every decision that you make, you was influenced to make that, you was persuaded to make that decision. Every decision. You ain't just solo make a decision. Like, nah. Every decision that you make has some type of influence behind it. So when you say, all right, I'm gonna let the child determine their gender, no, the child is not going to determine their gender. They are going to be influenced. They are going to be persuaded, whether it's by you, the parents, or by society. So that's what's going to happen. So there is no possible way that a child by himself or herself is just going to be like, I want to be a boy or a girl without some type of influence. Come on now. So that's why that makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Like, somebody's going to have to break down how that makes any type of sense. How that make any type of sense. Somebody's going to have to break it down, because the way I'm, you know what I'm saying, the way I'm deciphering it and breaking it down in my mind, in my head, it is literally illogical, irrational. I can't find any sense in this type of situation. Like, I'm gonna tell you all these things you cannot do. Oh, you can't date by this age. You can't talk on the phone with such and such by this age. I'm gonna make all these rules, but then yeah, all right, cool. You want to identify as a girl, even though you was born as a boy at 5. That's cool. But you can't listen. You can't listen to his rap music though. I ain't gonna let you play this sport though. I ain't gonna let you hang with this group of people though. I ain't gonna let you go on this side of town though. Crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, the world we live in is weird. Like, we think that having an influence is a negative thing. If it's a positive influence, nothing is wrong with that. But now we feel like having influence on children in regards to their decisions, we think that that's a negative. Like I said, everything boils down to influences. Every decision that you made, you didn't just make that decision by yourself. It was something that influenced you to make the decision. I don't care what the decision is. I guarantee you that you can point to some type of influence that swayed you in the direction of that decision. Guarantee you. There's going to be some outside influence that inspired you to make that decision or influenced you to make that decision. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. So what are we really saying? We're not gonna tell the child we gonna let society tell them what they are. That's what you're saying. Devontae, that's exactly what they're doing. The system is definitely raising the children. Like, that's it. Definitely raising the children. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? All right, it's on you. You can't tell that child he's a strong black boy or a strong black. You can't have them be confident in their blackness because they may not want to identify as black. Like, they don't even, come on, man. That's the way of the world that we living in, man. That's the way of the world. Why are you trying to get that? Why are you trying to get her to embrace her blackness? She may not want to identify as that. Talking about a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old. So you can't even instill the confidence in them anymore because that's influencing them. You're going to grow up to be a strong black man. Whoopie whoop. Oh, that's influencing. You can't do that. You can't say that. You got to allow them to determine it. I ain't going for it. Oh, yeah, Kuma, for sure. And that's always been part of the agenda, depopulation. Man, y'all boy Bill Gates, he been pushing that. So this is just another way to push that type of agenda. You know what I'm saying? And they've been pushing that. Depopulation. It's just another way. We're gonna have gender fluid children. Depopulation. They're not gonna be able to reproduce. So they basically going against nature. That's all that we doing. Going against nature. That's it. That's all that we doing. We going against nature in a multitude of ways. And it's never good when you go against nature. It's never good. Nothing good ever comes out of going against nature. Nothing. When you go against nature, listen, just individually speaking, when you go against nature, guess what that creates inside of you? It creates an imbalance. And guess what that leads to? That leads to disease. That leads to sickness. That leads to death prematurely. So when you go against the nature of your body, when you go against what your body naturally needs and craves, you're setting yourself up for sickness and disease. That's the microscopic. So when we look at the macroscopic picture, like the universe, when we go against nature, guess what's going to happen? All type of destruction. And that's why we have chaos, destruction everywhere. Because these people that are in positions of power going against nature and they pushing that narrative. Kyle, peace, what's happening, man? Everything is good. That's what's happening. So again, on a microscopic level, when you go against nature individually, that leads to disease, premature death, illness, sickness, all of that. It's an imbalance. It's an imbalance. So on a macroscopic, same thing. Go against nature. That leads to chaos, destruction, disorder, disease, calamities, illness, sicknesses, pandemics. You know what I'm saying? That's what it leads to. That's what it leads to. So that's all that's happening, man. That's why the world is just getting more wicked by the day. That's why you seeing it, like, telling you. That's why you analyzing what's going on, and it's like people are just going mad, like they going crazy, they going wild, because we going against nature. Going against nature. I'm telling y'all, man, when you go outside, ain't no telling what you're gonna come across. Man, I don't know about you all, but man, where we reside, St. Louis, man, people don't like traffic laws mean nothing. A red light means absolutely nothing these days. People run red lights like it's like that's the thing to do. Like red means green, green means green, yellow means green. They might as well get rid of the traffic lights around here, man. When you at a red light and that light turns green, you got to sit there for a second because I guarantee you somebody gonna run that joint. Before you go, before you turn out, you got to pause for about 5 seconds because dude, they running it because that's the norm. We don't stop at red lights. Like, man, they don't care about anything in this day and age because we didn't win against nature. Andronicus, peace, what's happening? Devontae for sure, and that's why it's an attack on us. You know what I mean? That's why when we come out, we speak a certain language. They're like, all right, man, we got to go ahead and silence that brother. We got to silence that brother. We got to assassinate that brother. I saw something. I was tapping into an article that was talking about. Matter of fact, I don't know if you all saw it. I'm pretty sure y'all probably have seen this, which it doesn't surprise me. But I saw an article, man, talking about Nipsey and his businesses was targeted by the LAPD with a secret program that they had. So I was doing the knowledge to that just recently. I was like, oh, okay. They was out here targeting Nip with a little secret laser program. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, we already know that. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to understand what Nip was talking about before he was murdered and things like that. So we already know that they was watching them, so we knew this. Nothing new under the sun. They didn't have COINTELPRO, and COINTELPRO never died. They just changed the name. But I was tapping into that. I was like, oh, okay. So they had a secret program where they was out here watching Nip. So now that makes you just question everything now in regards to what happened to him. So they already had this secret program. They just admitted to having a secret program that was basically watching his businesses. Put 2 and 2 together, man. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Years after his death, they come out and tell you that they had a secret program watching his businesses. The LAPD was on to Nip and his businesses. They was monitoring his businesses. Put 2 and 2 together in regards to what happened to him. Azure, peace, what's happening? Andronicus for sure. That's what I'm saying. That's the way of the world. When we going against them, we don't care about no order, no structure, no discipline, no nothing. We don't care about any of that. Running that red light. You say I'm supposed to eat what? I ain't eating that. It's normal now to be like, I don't like water. You don't drink water. I don't like the way water tastes. Things like that. Like, that's the world we live in, man. People going totally against nature. Totally against nature. Totally against nature. Like, that's why you seeing a lot of disorder, a lot of chaos and destruction, man. People they lost their way, man. We already was at a point, you know what I'm saying, when they enslaved us and oppressed us. They already had us embracing a way of life that was not in agreement with our true nature. So we was already living life. But now it's like 100 times worse. It's 100 times worse now. And Devontae, it's just wickedness out here, man. Like I said, we got a bunch of people. Self-hatred is out here. We got a lot of wicked folks with a lot of power and influence, and they pushing certain narratives that just making people hate themselves even more. And the people that hate themselves even more, they take it out on the people that look like them even more. So, like, it's just all bad out here. It's all bad out here, man. That's why, like I said, we got to continue to just push, like, neutralize that message, neutralize the narrative that they continue to push, or the narratives that they continue to push. That's our duty. No matter how hard they try to censor it and regulate it, like we got to continue to push the opposing narrative. We got to start embracing or keep embracing and inspiring and motivating people to live according to nature, to the true nature. Man, Galactic, man, Metal Gear Solid, and that was the game back in the day, actually. But yes, that's a good comparison. Yeah, Cal, and like I always say, social media, and this is the thing. That's why this is a complex situation. I don't feel like a situation like when we say we blame social media. I don't feel like that situation is as cut and dry as people like to make it. Because when somebody say, all right, like when Kyle would say, I'll blame social media, somebody would stop you instantly like, well, you can't blame social media. But here's why I say this situation is deeper than that. Because social media is definitely a tool. It's a tool that can be used for good. It's a tool that can be used for bad. But in and of itself is neutral. It's not positive or negative. But in the same breath, if you eliminate the tool, then you eliminate the possibility for the people to do the bad things that they are doing with the social media, on social media. If you eliminate the tool altogether, the tool was created for a certain purpose, for a certain reason. So we got to understand why social media was created in the first place. They gonna tell you it was for you to stay in contact with family members and friends and X, Y, and Z. That's what they gonna tell you. But we know the real reason behind why social media and things like these platforms exist. Real reason, the deeper reason, or what one would call the metaphysical reason, because we know the feds be tapped in and things along those lines. This making it much easier for them to do their jobs and things like that, to spy on people, to track people, all of that type of good stuff. But they gonna give you a reason on the surface as to why they are creating social media. So we always got to get into the motives. Why did somebody come up with social media? What was the energy behind the creation? What was the motive behind the creation of social media? Was it positive? Was it negative? What was it? So again, without the tool, what do you have? You still gonna have corruption. You still gonna have manipulation. You still gonna have deception. But this tool was created for a reason. So it's not necessarily one blaming the tool, but you got to acknowledge the fact that the tool was created for a specific reason. We got to understand that. It's just like money, the green piece of paper. It was created for a certain reason. And we got to understand the reason and the motive behind the creation of the money. The people that created the monetary system that we follow, they didn't create this system with the idea of equality in mind. They did not. They did not. They were hungry and thirsty for power, so they came up with this monetary system. So we got to understand that. We always got to look at the motives behind the creation of the tool, because that will impact us, whether we acknowledge it, admit it, or not. And a lot of times we overlook that. So I never think that type of response, like it's cut and dry. Well, I blame social media. I don't blame social media. I think it's deeper than just blaming social media or not blaming social media. Social media definitely plays a role, plays a part. Definitely plays a role, definitely plays a part in a lot of what's going on. You know, and that's a fact. Just like when people talk about music, whether or not you want to blame music, at the end of the day, music has an influence on one's mind. Once you study in frequencies, vibrations, and then the spoken word in general, that has an impact on one's mind. So you would be a fool to think social media doesn't have an impact on one's mind, especially with all these ads that be floating around and how they tap into the subconscious. So social media is definitely manipulating minds. So you can place some of the blame on social media technically, because that's a fact. Man, I got a book called Behind the Mask. You can find it on Amazon. And it talks about how they use Facebook ads to manipulate the selection or the election, the last election that we had. So for anybody that's acting like social media doesn't have an influence and it's not making or manipulating people to do certain things, that's false. I got a book called Behind the Mask that talks about how they utilize Facebook and they utilize the ads on Facebook to rig the last election or selection. It's a fact. So these ads on Facebook that you think you just scrolling past, they are actually sinking into your subconscious. And your subconscious is picking up on a message that they want you to pick up on. Consciously, it's not resonating to you. So again, we got to understand how deep this conversation actually can go. Anthony Spade, appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that donation. But yeah, people don't understand how deep this can go, man. These ads that y'all see, and then when y'all start speaking around your phone, then all of a sudden you unlock your phone, and what you was just talking about, you see an ad, like it's tapped in. Tapped in. You start talking about bikes, and then you get on your phone, get on Facebook, and now you see all images of bikes. You see ads of bikes because tapped in. They tapped in. Kyle, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So when somebody say you can't blame social media, I'm telling you, social media can shoulder some of the blame. And they knew this. They knew this. They showing you these ads like, and you think, oh, I just scroll past that ad. I didn't even look at that ad. It don't mean anything. It's almost like, man, people don't understand. It's like subliminal messaging. It's almost like just having the TV on can affect you subconsciously. If that TV is operating at a certain frequency and vibration and things like that. Or they could do it in a way to where you watching, like you see something consciously on the screen, but like behind the scenes, like they did something to where like your subconscious is picking up on a totally different message. It's crazy. It's crazy the tricks they play. They did a lot of that with music. Like when you would play a song backwards, it would have a totally different meaning. And that's what your subconscious picked up on. When they play the song backwards, and it's like, whoa, that song is crazy when it's played backwards. So that's how they do it. That's how they do us, man. And like I said, a lot of times, man, we not understanding these things. We're not understanding what's going on. We're not understanding why we gravitating towards something. Because you was influenced by subliminal messages. So they not doing this to you consciously. They doing it to you subconsciously, unconsciously, subliminally. So those little ads that you scroll past that you may have looked at for a split second, that might, man, that's going to impact your life in, like, I'm telling you, it's going to impact your life more than the things that you are actually consciously paying attention to on social media. So again, this whole gender fluid situation, you're going to start seeing them ads pop up. They want to get you to accept something. Then you're going to get on these platforms. You're going to start seeing these ads. And them ads, they listen, subconsciously, them ads going to resonate a certain type of way to you. And before you know it, you open to gender fluidity. And you don't even realize why and how. Because it was the subliminal messages. It was the subliminal messages, man. They was throwing them ads at you. And you were scrolling past them, but subconsciously it was resonating like, accept gender fluidity. And repetition is king. So you repeatedly see these advertisements, these ads, and now you like, all right, cool, this ain't too bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with it. They influence your decision. They influence your perception. So we got to be mindful on these platforms, man. These platforms are a lot more powerful than we give them credit for. A lot more powerful than we give them credit for, man. They got a lot of price, a lot of power on these platforms in regards to subliminal messages. This is not some stuff to take lightly, man. When you start seeing some strange ads, man, you might just want to get off of that joint. Like when you start seeing ads that's real random and like weird, man, get off Facebook. You know what I'm saying? If you're on Facebook and you seeing them weird ads, it's like, all right, hold on, I'm finna take a break. They tripping. Because that stuff is gonna resonate to you subconsciously. And we got to understand something about that subconscious. Like it's gonna pick up all of that. So anything that you consume, anything that you looking at, it's gonna pick that up. And they know that. So you can't just say, I scroll past it and think your subconscious missed it. No, your subconscious saw that, picked it up, and it's going to keep it. And that subconscious is not able to decipher wrong from right, truth from fiction. You know, it's going to accept what it repeatedly sees, what you repeatedly tell it. So if it repeatedly sees these ads, it's going to be like, all right, cool, this must be a truth. This must be a reality. So we got to watch that. We got to pay big time attention to that, man. We got to pay big time attention to it. Greg, exactly. Exactly. Marcel, peace, what's happening? Chris, peace, what's happening? Yeah, for sure. And they doing a good job. They doing a good job. Kyle, exactly. See, exactly. They trying to force it on you. Trying to force it on you. So it's like, I'm gonna get out the game. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this app down. Ain't got time for this ad. Because like I said, while you think you're not paying it any mind, that's the thing. People gotta realize, like, yeah, that ad was up, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. Don't matter if you wasn't paying conscious attention to it. Your subconscious is paying attention to it. It's playing in the background. So it really don't matter. So you could be like, hey, this ad was on, and I couldn't skip it, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. So a lot of people, that's what they hit me with. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to it though. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. It's like, shut the app down. We cannot let them program us on that subconscious level, man, because that's really how they get us to do what it is that they want us to do. It's all subconscious programming. They know how powerful the subconscious mind is. I got a book right here, man, and I'll put this book up. Self-Mastery Through Conscious Auto-Suggestion. That book is telling you how to consciously tap into the subconscious. You know? So everybody know the power of the subconscious. Everybody know if you want to do something in your life, you got to reprogram the subconscious. Like, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. They know that that's where it starts. They know that that's where to get people. If we want to get them to move a certain type of way, we got to hit the subconscious. That's how we got to do it. Nah, Lewis, nah. That's dude that wrote this book. Yeah, it's like Emily Coué. You know what I'm saying? They do from French, so I might be saying it might be Emily, but yeah, nah. That's the dude that authored the book. Cal, yeah, this book is definitely on Amazon, man. This book, and when I got it, it was like $5. Easy read, you know what I'm saying? Light read. Yeah, this is that, and it's a very good read too. Matter of fact, I came across this book when I was reading Mike Tyson's autobiography. He said his trainer at the time, Gus D'Amato, was reading this book. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this book. And I grabbed that book. It's a nice little read. Yeah, Kuma, and that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to decipher it on that conscious level. So you got to tell the subconscious what's up. That's basically conscious auto-suggestion. Like, you got to watch something on that conscious level, then it's like you got to interpret that. So you got to plant the seed. Because if you don't, now it's up to your subconscious. And that's not going to be good. So you got to make sure the conscious and the subconscious moving on one accord. So that's why that's why we talk about consciousness, awareness. Like, that's why we always talk about being aware. When you say, oh, that was up, but I wasn't paying attention to it, that's a lack of consciousness, a lack of awareness. You want to always be conscious, you want to always be aware so that you can consciously program your subconscious and not fall victim to their programming. So that's important. Yeah, Galactic MC for sure. Still in our thoughts all the time. Tapping into the mind, tapping into our thoughts all the time. Never fails. Like, that's one of their main objectives. Tap into the mind, tap into the original mind. See what we can steal. See what we can gather from that. You know, so that's been their objective for a minute, man. But again, like I say, man, just be mindful when you're on these platforms, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the platform is. Be mindful when you start seeing ads that's not adding up, no pun intended. When you start seeing that, it's like, all right, this is weird, it's getting weird. Get off of that, because they trying to program you. You know what I'm saying? They TJ Peace, what's happening? But they trying to program you. So it's like that's your sign right there. It's your cue. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to be on here anyway. I don't need to be on this social media platform anyway. That's my cue. Let me get off and do something else productive with my time. Oh, Chris, 100%. 100%. They steal way more than they create. Way more. You know what I'm saying? They steal way more than they create. Ridiculous. That's their way of life, though. To be thieves, man, and then try to take credit for it. Like they came up with it. Like they, you know what I'm saying? Like they talk about the naming of the states, like New Jersey, New Hampshire, New York. Like wasn't nothing new about them places. Like they was new to you. Wasn't new to us, though. But y'all come over here and want to claim ownership over something that really isn't yours, and you call it New York, New Hampshire, but nothing new about these places, man. People was already there. People already populated these cities, these states, and things along those lines. You want to get here because it's new to you, and then you want to name it. Like that's the way that they be like we gonna name it. Like, yeah, so that's what they be doing, man. New York, New Hampshire, New Jersey. Them places wasn't new at the time when y'all came across them, man. They had been in existence. Been in existence. But yeah, man, pay attention. Consciousness is key. Your level of consciousness, your level of awareness is key to you succeeding out here and elevating in life. You gotta have a high consciousness, man. High level of consciousness, high level of awareness. That's very important, man. It's very important. Like that's why when you see a person, that's why we talk about people that lack the consciousness, being deaf, dumb, and blind. It's easy to lead them astray. But the higher your level of consciousness, the harder it is to lead you in that wrong direction because you always paying attention, you always alert, you always aware. You don't want to be having 4 or 5 different things going on where you're not able to pay attention to all these things. Because again, that's how they get you. That's how you become a slave. That's how you become a slave out here, a mental slave. You got all these different things going on around you that's programming your mind and you have no control over it. No, focus on one thing consciously. That's what you do. That's how you have control over the conscious and the subconscious. That's how you have control over the mind as a whole. And nice peace, queen. What's happening for sure? Unchained mind. You know, it's how you got to do it. You got to control the mind by becoming very conscious. When you're watching something, pay very close attention to what it is that you're watching. Be attentive. Don't be loose with it. Because again, it's all programming. Don't be loose with it. Focus hard on it. If you're not able to give it your full attention, then don't even deal with it at the time. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Akuma, see, there you go. Decisions. Greg, for sure. We always gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna always raise the vibrational frequency. Always. We're gonna always raise that frequency, man. That's what it's all about. That's always the objective. That's always the motive. Raise the frequency. Like I said, high level of consciousness. I'm telling y'all, practice it. I gave y'all the, you know what I'm saying? I gave y'all the tactic for being more productive or efficient in life about working in blocks. So focusing on something for like 30 minutes at a time and then giving yourself like a 15-minute break. Telling y'all, just devote your time, energy, and attention to one thing at a time and see how much you can get done and just see how you can better interpret it, decipher it, pick it apart. Telling you, just give something your whole entire focus. When you working out, man, just focus on working out. Man, I remember one time somebody gave me the advice to not when I was running at the time. They was like, you know what? Don't run with music. Now, again, that might sound crazy. You're like, man, I gotta have music when I run. They was like, nah, run without the music. Focus on, listen, okay, embrace your breathing. Focus on your breathing. Hear yourself breathe. Things along those lines. Man, I tell y'all, man, when I did that, that was my best run that I've ever had. When I was like, all right, the headphones out, I'm about to just run. I'm about to just embrace everything, embrace the breath, embrace the breathing, embrace nature. And I'm about to just run. That's the best run I ever had. Vincent, peace. What's happening? Oh, yeah. Chris Norwood. Yeah. Free your mind. The rest will follow. Seize the time. No one is promised tomorrow. Psychology. Yeah, that's my joint. Bonafide. That's exactly what we talking about. That's exactly what we talking about. Yeah, prodigal son for sure. Exactly why it's called the program. Exactly. Mellow Bob, peace. What's happening? Our brother Antonio for sure. Yeah, that's exactly what inspired this. That's exactly what inspired. I'm like, all right, here we go. Gonna get the celebrity to push the narrative. That's what they always do. So let's go get Jeezy. Let's go get Jeezy to influence that demographic. They can sit down with that though. But yeah, man, before I split, man, I just want to try focusing. Like, just try it one time. Try it one time. You working out, running, whatever you do. Telling y'all, try to do it without music. Just focus on the task at hand. You working out. Say you break up your body parts. Say it's leg day. Eliminate the music. And when you working out, just focus on your legs. Like every exercise you do, focus on your legs. Visualize your legs growing or whatever it is you striving to accomplish. Telling y'all, man, that's going to take you to the next level. Now, I'm not saying I do that all the time, but the times that I have done that, the times that I have worked out, ran without music, it's powerful. It's powerful. To Renzo, peace, my brother. Nah, man, y'all can have that snow. I don't want no more parts of snow. Oh, Devontae, yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. Shout out to Roddy Piper was in that joint. Yeah, Roddy Piper. That's the movie Roddy Piper was in. Classic movie right there. Classic. Definitely a reflection of what's going on. Yeah, Shantae for man, real in the field. Now, working out at the gyms, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, but they automatically had music in the background. So it was like I couldn't dodge that bullet. But when I was running outside, I was like, man, let me try this, man. I had no music, boy. I ain't had no choice but and I realized at that time, that's when I realized my breathing was garbage. It's hard to focus on your breathing when you got music playing. So when I ran without music, I was like, dang, man, I ain't breathing right. So I started focusing on my breathing. And from that time forward, I was mastering the art of breathing because I ran without music. So it forced me to kind of hear myself breathe. And I was like, yeah, this is not right. Yeah, this is incorrect. So I'm telling you, you'll be taking everything to another level when you start working out without music, man. That's powerful. Because as Jessica just said, it's hard. So when you do it, you're gonna be like, wow, like I straight just did that. It's some people that's a killer right there. They might not work out. Like if they pull up somewhere like where they supposed to work out, they don't have their headphones, they forgot, they can't listen to their music, they might not even work out. Chaos, exactly. And that's what at that time, I was like, okay. So yeah, this is like 10 years ago, man. And I just started running without music, and I was like, all right, cool, this is easy. Provoking thoughts. Yeah, like I said, that cat Yaki is actually from where I'm from. We in the same area. So it's crazy that a lot of people always bring dude up. Oh yeah, Montel, yeah, yeah. You not too far from the kid being in Cape. Yeah, my brother Antonio. Yeah, I don't care who get offended. Yeah, I never care about offending people. Yeah, I'm definitely past that in life. I'm past that part of my life to where I care who I offend. You don't like what I have to say. If you don't like what I said, then that's pretty much on you at this point. I don't really care. I don't even be like no offense anymore. Like I don't even say that. Like if you just get offended, you just gonna get offended. I don't care. Because I know I'm going to elaborate on what it was that I said. So like if you misinterpret that, so be it. Because once you misinterpret it, it don't really matter how I clean it up at the end of the day. You heard what you wanted to hear. So I'm gonna let you, whatever you thought you heard, that's what it is. I'm not here to change your mind because I said what I said. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I didn't went a little bit over, man. I just want to build for like an hour. Pretty much feel like I touched on what I need to touch on, man. The gender fluidity situation, trash. We not embracing that. We not living that type of life. We not endorsing that. We not co-signing it. It's garbage. But they trying to normalize that, make that the new norm. They're gonna push it. They're gonna continue to push the narrative. They're gonna manipulate these celebrities. They're gonna pay off these celebrities to push the narrative. So it is what it is. They're going to utilize ads on social media to continue to push narrative. So we got to be mindful. We got to be conscious, man. We got to activate that higher consciousness. So we got to be aware. So when we start seeing these things, it's time for us to log on out of that joint and go do something more productive, man. Read a book or something. Go outside, something. Work out. Anything but be on these social media platforms when they pushing these narratives and agendas. But, man, with that being said, man, I'm going to tap out for the night, man, or for the day. Appreciate the donations, man. Appreciate all the comments, all the love. The exchange is always peace. All the people that tapped in, new, old, whoever. Appreciate y'all. It's all love. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday. Probably not going to tap in with y'all tomorrow, but I'm going to be putting out some shorter videos, so y'all be on the lookout for that short inspiration. So enjoy the rest of this Tuesday, man. Y'all get y'all some fruits in your system. Drink y'all some water. Exercise if you haven't already. Lay low. Read some pages in the book. Do some journaling. All that good stuff. I'm out. Y'all be easy. Peace.